Today we're building the island castle build, so if you enjoyed this video, why not leave a like and a comment down below, and let's jump into the builds. Hello everyone, Auvbri here, and welcome back to another speed build in The Sims 4. So today we're doing the island castle build. The first part of it anyways. So this is actually a build I did with you guys at the live stream I did yesterday. It was a really fun live stream, so if you didn't watch the live stream and you would like to do so, go ahead and check it out on my channel, and you should be able to find the video. It was a fairly long live stream actually, but I think we had a lot of fun. So go check it out if you haven't watched it and if you would like to. So let's just jump into the build here. I did this build with you guys in the live stream because I wanted you guys to kind of follow the thought process that I have and kind of you know, see how I do things, and I know a lot of you ask how I do stuff and where's my inspiration. So at the live stream, a lot of you guys asked me questions and I answered them to the best of my abilities. And this is kind of where this build was going. I said from the beginning I wanted to build an kind of island with like, I don't want to say deserted, I just want to say a overgrown castle where part of nature has kind of taken it back, and it's maybe like a little rubbleish at places, but I think it turned out to be so cool in the end, and you guys came up with a lot of input on how we could do stuff and which wallpapers to choose and stuff like that. So yeah, it turned out to be very nice. So you're gonna see it actually, this is the first, I believe, 2 hours of the builds where I'm just building with you guys, kind of explaining why I'm doing certain things I do. So I wanted to have this this build in 2 stages. So there's the island in the middle here of the ocean or lake, whatever you want to define it as. It is on the biggest lot in the Sims 4 world. So yeah, but I wanted to have it into 2 stages. So we're just working on having the castle walls mostly around the whole place. I wanted to have some sort of diversity and not having the castle walls be everywhere. So we could also have, you know, a somewhat open structure. So we, at the ground floor, we're going to call it here, we're going to have a little market area place where I'm going to put in some, you know, trading tables and stuff like that. Here I was just figuring out, I didn't know this, but from the Jungle Adventures game pack, there is these floor tiles, and they look really great apart, but I just figured out it's actually the same flooring tile, it's just different stages of it. So one is like totally broken and crumbling, one is not so crumbly but still a bit broken, and one is just whole. So I'm gonna use that to actually create this feeling that it is an old place, and we're gonna do that with kind of combining these 3 types of flooring tiles to create something that looks a bit more realistic, and I think it turned out really good in the end. So one thing I didn't actually do on the live stream, which I finished today, is I went back in to add windows and, you know, little features like that. I also added some wall greeneries on the outside of the castle walls, just to, you know, make it look a bit more realistic. I just needed something. And as you can see, it's already 21 minutes long, and I did cut out stuff just because I was like showing stuff in the live stream, and yeah, there's just certain parts of it that you guys don't really need to see for the speed build here. So we have the first aspect of it, which is going to be the kind of, what can we say, castle grounds or castle marketplace, where we're going to have these different market tables, and I'm going to put in. The plan is, somebody actually said in the live stream, the plan is I kind of want to put in some sellers, and that's a really good idea because it fits with the vibe of the castle. So that's going to be in part 2, where we're going to furnish everything. So I want to like maybe put in a tavern or something like that, you know, just kind of make it a bit more realistic. So we're going to have the marketplace on the ground floor here. Then you're going to take the staircase upstairs to the first floor, where we're going to start building the castle here. So I wanted to have a big bell tower as part of the castle. Also just because this is, in my head, I kind of imagined this being a little like a medieval city where the castle was in the middle, and then we could kind of build you know, old houses and stuff like that around the place. So I wanted to have a bell tower in the middle, of course, with a signal fire at the top of it, and an open place for the bell. So that's also something that you guys helped me choose out in the live stream. I was searching for something I could use as the bell in the bell tower, and we ended up using a like a vase from, I believe it's from the base game actually, or maybe like it's from the City Living. I don't actually know, but it turned out to be quite effective in the end. I think it looks really good. So yeah, we wanted the bell tower in the middle and also being part of the castle. I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So I didn't want this castle to be too big, but it also couldn't be too small, because that would just look stupid. So it was all kind of all about finding that right balance between it being too big and it being too small. So we're actually gonna take that down, the side house. We just put the roofing piece on, remove one of the floors, and put it down one piece just to make it look a bit better. And then we could kind of have like this castle balcony. So there's different types of levels on this castle. We have a second floor as well. And then most of the castle is on the like first floor. So we're gonna have a second floor here. That's all the second floor is gonna be. And then I wanted to have another kind of tower in the opposite side of the bell tower. Not as tall, not as big, just to kind of break it up a bit and make something a bit more realistic. I'm thinking that in the next part of the builds, we're gonna do a kind of dungeon cellar thing from the castle. So we're gonna have the taverns and marketplace go into what is basically the basement for the castle. But I also wanted to I think I'm going to make a cellar dungeon type of thing. I think that could be really awesome. So here I'm just looking through the stuff, scrolling through stuff to find something that we can use as a bell for the bell tower. And there was some suggestions, like we could use some of the wall pieces. I initially wanted to use this just because it has the right size and it has the right texture on it. Then we try to use this just to kind of create something different. I'm actually looking at it now, looking back at it. I'm thinking that I'm gonna change it back into the second vase just because I like the pattern on it a bit better, and I just think it looks a bit more realistic. Then the signal fireplace for the top of the build here, and I was just testing it out again. No, we couldn't put that in. I needed it to be big so you could kind of see it, but that brown color, looking at it now, yeah, I think I'm going to change that. So yeah, for those of you who will be asking, no, the build is not on the gallery yet. It will be as soon as I'm finished with it. I'm not going to finish it in a live stream, just because work is really busy at the moment. So this is going to be something I have to do in my spare time. So it's going to be like bits and pieces here and there, and video clips, recordings pulled together, and stuff like that. So just I changed some of the flooring, or not flooring, fencing pieces just to this. I believe it came with the Get Together expansion pack. It just looked better. It just added that dimension to the fencing pieces that I needed it to look like. It just, I don't know, it makes it look a bit more realistic, and like it has a bit more depth to it. So I really like that. Then I really wanted to use one of these hexagon pieces. I don't know why. Just it's really castle-like to me. It reminds me a lot of a castle, having those hexagon pieces and just the roofing piece. You might be thinking now that the place does look a bit bland and there's a lot of grays here. We're gonna do something with that, and we're gonna put in lots of greens, and we're gonna put in a lot of decoration pieces like little flags everywhere, and when the windows actually goes in, I don't think it's that bad. I think it looks really good. So don't worry, it's gonna look awesome in the end, I promise. So the back of the castle here, I needed some place. I needed a balcony somewhere, just because there's always that one balcony looking out over the water. So I needed it to be somewhere, and I thought that why not just make it in the back here? Then we can kind of have the balcony go over the backside dock place, which is going to be the place where the royal family who used to live here would have their emergency exit boat if they needed to flee or something like that. So we're gonna put that in the back. There's going to be another turret back here, and we're gonna add some more wall pieces, just to like tie everything together and just make it look a bit better. And as I said before, the one thing you're not gonna see me do in this build, because I totally forgot to record it, to be honest, is putting in windows and putting in, you know, a lot of the decoration pieces that is in this space once you see the final pictures. So I put in a lot of like decorational flags and pieces like that, just to make it look, you know, somewhat a bit more realistic. And then we put in some like a tower here, just to kind of shield it off a bit, so it's a bit more private in the back area for the private docking space. And I do actually believe that that the back is the only place where your sim can actually enter this build, because I'm not sure what to call them, like the warning dock things that we use in the front as well. I don't believe that they can actually cross through those we're placing here, so I'm just gonna remove one of them for the next part of the build, so they can actually enter from the front as well, because that kind of just makes a bit more sense. And then we have kind of like the finishing pieces to do here, some more fencing just to tie everything together. We're gonna put in some grass on the places that needs it, and those are the places where we're gonna place some, some greenery just to make it look a bit nicer and tie everything together. What else do we do? Oh yeah, so I'm just putting in some doorways here and there. I also in the clock tower and in two of the turrets at the wall pieces, the outer wall pieces, I created like this fake looking, well, it doesn't look fake, it looks actually really good, but I created like this piece that goes, I'm not sure what to call it, like a, it's in the floor, it's made of wood, and underneath it, while you lift it up, there would be a staircase so you could actually get out of the tower. I have no idea what it's called, to be honest. But I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. So yeah, here I'm just working on now the crumbling aspect of the build. So I wanted some of the wall pieces to look a bit more crumbly, and we're gonna put in again some greeneries just to make it look somewhat more realistic. And then I was looking for a boat here, and yeah, I had no idea what kind of boat to actually find, so I decided in the end, when I was actually putting in windows here today, that why not use really old looking boats. And you're gonna see that in the screenshot in the end, and you could probably see it in the intro video and from the thumbnail. It looks freaking awesome. I mean, it's so good. I'm so happy about how it turned out. It just fits so well. So putting in plants here and decorating the place. I really want to use this tree that I just placed. I believe it came with the Sims 4 cats and dogs, maybe. I can't actually remember, but it's a really good. So one other thing I also did while putting in windows, I actually decided to put in another door into the castle. So we kind of have like this castle garden, which we're working on now. Well, not now, but I was working on it just a little while ago. Just to have two entrances into the castle. And actually, I don't remember, but I do believe that I actually deleted one of those castle doors just because I did not like how it looked. It just did not fit in with the overall aspect of the whole build. And these columns just, I don't know, it just ties everything together really nice. And just some last trees, some more plants. Just at this point, the stream was actually about to come to an end, so I was just trying to finish up. And also we had been streaming for like 3.5 hours, I believe. I started out streaming some the vet and the pets with you guys, and then after about 1 hour and 20 minutes of that, we started doing the house building video here. So it was a really, really long stream, but it was so much fun. So next time, if you would like to, you can definitely join me on the stream. It was so fun, and it was so cool to interact with you guys while building and playing, and I just think we had a general good time. So again, what you're not going to see me do in this build is put in windows, and you're not going to see me put in some of the decorations that is in in the final screenshots. But you're gonna see in the next part of the build do everything, and we're gonna jump into the screenshots here in just a second as I'm finishing up the last thing. And here we have it, and you can kind of see the boats in the end here. So this is kind of a screen from the backyard. I put in some windows. I wanted grand, big, majestic windows. So again, it's not on the gallery yet. It will be really soon. I promise that. And we can see the bell tower there looking awesome. But it will be on the gallery really soon, as soon as I'm finishing it. And yeah. Did you like the build? What do you think about it? Tell me down below. Leave a comment. Is there something you don't like? What do you like? Tell me down below. Let's start a conversation. I really want to know. And if you haven't already done it, why not leave a like? That really helps me out a great big deal. And subscribe if you haven't already done that. And be sure to check out my last videos if you haven't watched those. And there's nothing else for me to say other than have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time for another video.